Julie, it's nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So let's start out with the history of the Journal of Technical Analysis. What are the goals and missions, objectives?
So the Journal of Technical Analysis has been published since 1978, and over that time we have been able to contribute a lot to the body of knowledge for technical analysis. The mission of the mission of the Journal of Technical Analysis is to advance the knowledge and understanding of technical analysis through well-crafted articles. And so our members can contribute to this body of knowledge through writing for the journal.
Okay, great. So what are the ways to go about submitting the journal? I know you do it through email. You email it to editor@journal.
So there is an email address on the journal website that people can submit the article through, and then once they submit that article, it goes through what's known as a double-blind review process. So it is sent out to at least 2 reviewers that do not know who the author is, and then the author does not know who those reviewers are. That's why it's called a double-blind review. And in that process, feedback is given to the author of ways that somebody who hasn't read the journal article before, the questions they might have, ways that it might be improved, and we'll make a decision of whether it is a good fit for the journal.
Perfect. So I think that actually leads right into the next question. What's the type of content that you look for in the journal?
So an article for the journal should be something that really promotes the overall body of knowledge in the field of technical analysis. So we look for articles that are more timeless than, say, the newsletter. So maybe something that's not about what's happening right now in the market or somebody's views of where the market will be in the next 6 months, but something that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, somebody can pick up and say, oh, this is how the knowledge has progressed in the field. So what kinds of things have we been learning and breaking new barriers in technical analysis?
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So what type of format do you take the articles in?
So the articles should be written in more of an academic research type of format. So they will vary in length depending on the type of article, and people need to think through as they format that of what will really translate well to the written page as far as different kinds of charts and any kinds of equations that they have. Are those all something that will help the reader understand what their basic argument in their paper is better?
Perfect, perfect. Do you have any advice for someone who is submitting an article or considering submitting an article to the Journal of Technical Analysis?
So I find that it's something that even though we have a lot of members who write all the time and write newsletters and write reports for clients and so forth, that you talk to them about writing an article for the journal and they somewhat panic. But there's no reason to do that. That really starting with something that they're very interested in. Often people think, oh, I have to have something that's a totally new idea and that is extremely creative. But a lot of the best research is something that really builds on former research and maybe applies it to a new market, to a new time period. Testing an indicator, testing a rule that we have a lot of things in technical analysis that have developed over the years as just passed down from technical analyst generation to generation. And so some testing of those or looking more closely at some of those rules would be the types of things that we would look at.
Perfect. It actually reminds me of a quote that I've heard quite frequently recently. It's standing on the shoulder of giants. You know? So it's really building on research that maybe has been done and expanding it. I think that covers everything. Do you have anything that you'd like to ask me or anything you'd like to add?
Well, I would just say that looking at some of the ways of going about formatting an article, one of the things that I would suggest that people do is try to take their idea and put it down into a sentence or two that is a very clear, concise statement of what they're trying to do. Often whenever we start doing research, we get a big picture and a big idea, and then it sort of grows, and then it actually becomes too much or difficult for the reader. So that would help people focus on what their particular idea, what their particular topic is. Another area that I find that can be helpful is working with others. That in a lot of research, a lot of papers aren't written in isolation, that you often will have co-authored papers where you have a person who has an idea, maybe a person who's very good at statistics or using data, and then another person that's very good at writing, and having those two people come together to work on a project often leads to the most successful papers.
That's a great advice, and I think that's definitely something people should look into. It's all about teamwork, and with the MTA, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who are willing to collaborate and also maybe just contribute to the Journal of Technical Analysis. If you have any questions about the Journal of Technical Analysis, you can always email journal@mta.org, and we look forward to your submissions.